Hi, my name is Brooke Ryan, and I will be discussing a case involving pediatric medicine. In the case study I chose, a 16-year-old boy is seriously injured in a motor vehicle accident. The boy let hospital staff know that he did not want blood transfusions due to being a Jehovah's Witness. Surgery was initially done without any blood products, but he later had lab values that were revealing dropping hemoglobin and hematocrit levels. The doctors asked his mom for consent for a blood transfusion, but she adamantly refused due to their religious beliefs. Due to the boy's life being on the line, legal counsel for the hospital got involved and appointed a guardian ad litem, which is a guardian a court appoints to watch after someone during a case. The doctors and physicians testified that a transfusion was needed to save the boy's life, and it was then permitted. The boy was held down, transfused, and survived with no complications. The mother sued but did not win the case. As a minor, the 16-year-old rightfully should not have any decision-making powers, I don't feel. I have a 15-year-old daughter, and although she's very smart, I would never let her make a life or death decision regarding her own medical care. I do fully support the ethical principle of autonomy and people's right to make choices for themselves, as they should, but at 16, this shouldn't apply to decisions that could potentially end their own life. I do feel that autonomy should only apply to adults or anyone over 18. The boy's mother should be able to make medical decisions for her son, but when those decisions knowingly end your child's life, when a life-saving option is very easily available, I do agree with the decision to have her choices overridden and taken away. Under less time-sensitive circumstances, or the situation could be discussed more thoroughly with the boy's mom, or maybe they could come up with other options she would be more comfortable with, or maybe they could find ways to educate her on the science and safety of blood transfusions, then those could have been options. But with time being of the essence, and the mom's decision causing her son to lose his life, the doctors needed to act quickly, and I do feel they made the correct decision. I think as a physician or any medical provider, you must always be practicing under the ethical principle of beneficence. The standard definition of this is an act of charity, mercy, and kindness. With healthcare, it is a bit more involved, but practitioners are to act in a way that contributes to the patient's health and well-being, and they must take care to refrain from doing anything that would cause harm. I agree that the physicians in this case were acting beneficently. Blood transfusions are one of the most common clinical procedures performed. It's estimated that 36,000 units of blood are necessary every day in the United States of America. A reaction occurs in every 1 out of 100 transfusions. Although this may sound like a high number, it's only 1%. 99% of transfusions have no reaction and go on to save lives. In a study done to see how transfusions were perceived, blood transfusions were often considered to be risky among patients and caregivers, despite the science showing they are safe. 10.9% of patients believed transfusions to be harmful, and 36.8% of those patients worried about infections, with 13.6% believing infection transmission was a frequent complication. I think an adult who wishes not to receive blood products would be a different situation. They're grown and legally able to make this decision for themselves, but medical providers would not be acting beneficently if they allowed a child to die with a safe, easy, life-saving option available. The science and data show that he had a 99% chance of receiving this transfusion with no complications, which is exactly what had happened. My feelings about this case may be different if there were a 50-50 chance, or possibly worse, that the boy would have complications or long-term side effects from the blood transfusion. It's not always easy being a doctor or medical provider. You'll have to act in ways you may not personally agree with, based on your patient's beliefs and preferences. But I feel that when it comes to minors, in order to act in a way that does not cause harm to a patient, there may be situations when you have to go against someone legally and override their wishes. I don't think it would be considered beneficence to let a child die because of a parent's beliefs, when there is an easy, commonly used procedure available with a 99% chance of success.